따기였습니다.
Hariom. So I've been sitting with this for a while now. Something that, as you come into discovering yourself and standing within your own power of who you are, and as we're going through our own journey, our own awakening as to why we're here on this planet at this time in itself, and it's been coming to me. We created our own awakening within our own planet as our own reflection and our own bubble of observance as well. But if you lift the veil of that bubble and you step outside the box, you see beyond to other possibilities, other dimensional paradigms, or other just ways of shifting and contributing and actually connecting into a collective on this planet, realizing that you are you in your own plane, in your own creating your own world and its balance, in regards to all of its celestial bodies inside your body, and also how all the celestial bodies, affect within your mood, your cycles, and just in general, energetically, consciously, emotionally, spiritually, physically, let's go through all these things, and it's really, really been sitting with me so much here lately, and to, in itself, to, I guess, it fully remembers to who I am, remembers to why I am here, remember what I've been shown and what I've come to awaken to actually remember that and stand in that power, stand in that strength, and to stand strong in who I am and take that I am presence and take that power, and I claim it here and now. I take it back, that no beings have any energy that is tied to me in any way, because each one of us are our own free-willed sovereign being, but also within that you come to make your own choice. And this is, I'm just gonna put it out there. My biggest thing is, I don't know if I've heard this in many different things, and I don't necessarily know if this is just because you create your own reality, you're hearing your own things in a way, truly talking to yourself as your own channel, as your own connection within your frequency and your consciousness. So in itself, I've had numerous people tell me throughout my life, and I've also said it myself, since we're in a new, and the consciousness is so reflective now, I'm going to be very present and careful with my words and not actually speak that, but it's in regards to energetic things, feelings, and relations to family, and to the multiple levels of family. There's family you're born into, and there's family that's, it all depends on really what vibrational frequency you're in as to where the resonance of your family and what you're radiating within that conscious vibration, that conscious resonance, is to who you bring in with you. Who are you reflecting in your own reality? Who are you being? Who are you awakening in your perception of your Akash? Basically, who are you awakening the perception of your DNA memories, within there, and activating that as you come within each frequency in itself. You come into that frequency, and there can be a new group of people, in itself, or sentient beings in regards to people or plants, and animals, or however you come to look at it, and it was really interesting because I was actually sitting and I was watching a video maybe a couple days ago that came to me in regards to, in its truest sense, they speak of, in a way, you don't have to really go anywhere to perceive it, because you in itself are just kind of, in a way, rotating around through the awakening of your own consciousness, through the awakening of your own head, as you go around in your experience of life. You're coming in there and you're awakening, you're depending on what you do and what you activate, also lays forth that groundwork for your life in this present moment that you're living, but also, and you have the opportunity to come back in and experience Earth again after you've gone out of this physical body, but in itself, and then I've sat with this perception, and I can see this because it's beyond the concept of space and time in itself, but it's also just being in that perception of your awareness and the perception of your own consciousness, in the moment of being in that alignment, in the present moment. You see this, or I see this, and I feel as a potential for all of us to be present and aware of this. that in itself, in regards to your life, in regards to, you know, your oversoul, your higher self, and the reason that you signed up to be incarnated into this physical body is your spiritual form right now. You know, but in itself, like, within it is, you know, you are that connection to the spirit, your oversoul, that in itself, you know, I've heard of many things are said that in a way it's all how's the best wording to say this, is in a way is all divine synchronicity, that the universe, divine, you know, divine creation, God, you know, Mother, Father God, Mother Earth, and however you want to call it or what you want to say, if you want to put a name, but for what it is, I use those words at the moment, but in that it is in a way laid out for you as to your path, and, you know, as to when you're sleeping and you're in that cosmic dream space, you're actually in communication with your oversoul. You're up there in the cosmic consciousness, in, you know, in regards to your dreaming spaces, your collective dreaming spaces, you know. But when you're up there, your oversoul, your higher self, in a way, is planting the synchronicities and implanting those, you know, new synchronicities, new energies being aligned and awakening within your perception for the next day. Okay, so that when you come to wake up, what you're going to see, what you're going to interact with, what you're going to perceive, and all of those in regards to the awakening within your experiences of life, you know, in itself. So in its truest sense, like, you know, and this really, it sat with me in this way is to, because I've been back and forth for so long in regards to, in relation to certain members of family or different frequencies of people that are called and perceived to me as family throughout my life and my awakening of my consciousness and what I've come to awaken and perceive within those experiences. I've seen multiple levels of types of family, you know, in itself. But in its truest essence, I've really been sitting with it is to back and forth, whether to go to this part of family or go over here to this family or go over here to this family, in regards to is to also being, in a way, having that false fear, basically, in itself, because you can't, you know, fear is just an illusion in itself, as with everything is illusion, you know, because you're putting that illusion, that perception within your mind, within your consciousness, as you're saying, you're coming in, your ego is analyzing this, and this, trying to figure it all out. So you're creating the story, you're creating the illusion around something. You know, a lot of times when you haven't even come into the resonance, you haven't even come into the presence or the frequency of it yet. So, but in itself, and is also, it's about your own free will choices in regards to how you react to it. So, like, just even in itself, right here and right now, I'm seeing beautiful angel numbers, and it's a California plate, you know, and beautiful, loving California. And I'm also, in a way, for whatever space and time is, I'm also here kind of in the eastern part of the U.S. right now, which is, you know, East Coast, West Coast, in a way opposite of California in its energy in regards to so much within its consciousness, you know. So, but I've been asking that perception, you know, and journey within me as to, you know, oh man, being afraid that the so-called illusion of fear that if I go here, that I'm going to miss the opportunity for this, or I'm going to do this and this and this and this and this. But in its truest sense, it's supposed to awaken, allow you to experience and see all these different things, and then know that and trust that where you're at, you know, in itself is exactly where you're meant to be. You know, for example, my journey that I've had here, well, a lot, but especially over the past several months, to where I've been and what I've been going through and releasing energetically, emotionally, spiritually, you know, in that vibrational frequency, in the different places that I've gone to, you know, because when you go into that new place, that other place, and that perception of it, you're again awakening those frequencies, because you're in a different energy alignment, a different energy that you carry within your light body and within your consciousness and your memories. So each energy, each time you go to a specific place, it's actually aligned energetically different. You know, your oversoul, your higher self, your connection to source, spirit and God and all of creation is actually, aligned in a completely different resonance, a completely different frequency. So every time I would go, say I go to, Pennsylvania and visit family over there, every time I would go there and this and that I've come to experience something new and awakened within myself. And so have they within their own journey of itself. But my thing is, it's you go through in your journey, but because I've shifted and awakened within my awakening, and my understanding and healing and expanding within who I am, when I come back into that energetic vibration of that other spiritual being, that we vibrate together at a different conscious frequency, at a different level depending on where we're at in our growth. So that in itself allows you to see deeper layers, allows you to feel deeper layers, and understanding how you relate to that other sentient being, that other person or animal or plant. But I'm speaking in regard to people here as human beings. When you come into that in that resonance, it's a different frequency, it's a different way, a different perception. You basically have lifted the veils, of your hawk medicine. You've allowed that veil, you've taken away the lenses and the perceptions that's allowing you to, you had of this, and this before, So in itself, my thing was like, man, do I go here, here, here? And I was out in California, and I was in Joshua Tree, and out in Vegas, and up in Oregon, and I've been to many different places here recently over the past several months, and in itself, I've asked, man, am I meant to be here? Oh, am I meant to be here? Why? And I'm, in a way, felt, in some ways called to ground in and want a place to be, but also in itself, I'm going to these places because what's come to me is I'm obviously awakening within a new frequency in the resonance of my consciousness. But as you're coming and you're doing within that, you're also laying forth a groundwork and part of your journey of your life, awakening of your memories, of your DNA, of your frequencies, and bringing forth that light, as we're going around transforming the darkness into light. We're basically just taking parts of our DNA, parts of ourselves that are asleep, and shining light into that in its truest sense and awakening it up. So it's to each part or each perception of your journey as to where you're going and what you're doing. Every time you go into someplace new, it's a completely different perception. In a way, you are meant to have a whole new perception, a whole new outlook, and a new veil and energy which you're perceiving that place, and in its essence, if you're were to see an energy of something that was about energy before, and it's actually really something that you're just holding on to, something energetically that you're working with and you're dealing with here. It's like, oh, I'm still holding on to that. That's an old perception, an old way of thinking, an old habit, an old paradigm, and you are offered to, once again, to drop into that space and have those veils lifted to allow you to go and see deeper and to be deeper within your presence, within that space, just to be that observer and that essence of presence, So, and that's my thing is to, because I know that is to, within me personally, and I feel this is within everyone, is to when you're in that present moment, when you're in that balance, within that alignment between the mind and the heart, within that void or that gap space, within that breath, is truly that alignment space. When you're present, you in itself are tapped into the highest vibration of who you are in its essence. So when you're in that alignment, you start, that alignment truly in itself can be anywhere that you're at, and when you're in that perception, in that alignment, no matter where you go along your journey of life, when you're in that alignment, you are fully in aligned with your higher self and aligning the path that was in a way laid for you in regards to helping you achieve your destiny along your soul's purpose. So coming into this, and it's been my my learning of, especially over the past year here, is to, when I'm going into these places, going into these presences, or going into the presence of others, that to be that observer, to slow and to be present even more, to see it unfolding and not necessarily fully feel that I need to engage and interact. Because every time you engage and interact, you created a new experience, you're creating a new samkhara, something that in itself keeps going, can go through your head, and you can create a new story within it. So in its essence, my thing has been, okay, where do I be? You know, and in essence, in its truest senses, you are meant to be always being in every moment. Like, you don't necessarily, what's come to me is you don't necessarily have to be in this specific city or this specific state or this specific country in itself. That in a way, when you're in alignment in that presence, in alignment with your love of your heart, it resonates with you. It comes through you, and it starts really bringing forth your frequency of the destiny, the alignment of your soul. You know, but yet if you're also, you know, you're here and you want to be here, but so you're also called to go somewhere else in its truest sense, is to, I mean, that in itself is another, a part of your awakening, a part of your journey that truly you're intent to experience, you know? So if, you know, and I'd say this to everyone, go travel. Get out of wherever you're at, whatever circle you're in. Change up your circle. Change up your daily routine in so many ways. You know, even like take a different way to and from work in itself, you know, just to help shift up some of those, to bring new energies and new frequencies into your routine of life. Because when you go about doing the same thing every day, you know, in regards to going to this job or that job or going here and doing a lot of the same routine over and over, you stay within those same energies, those same vibrations, those same frequencies. So in itself, like, and I said this to, you know, the other day to my sister about in regards to breaking habits of things, and in a way I felt that my oversoul, my higher self, is in a way of trying to get me to, and I say break and I say this out of complete love, and it's my own free will choice, is to the depth and connection to your heart. But I was like, what kind of came to me, and I've asked myself this though, is to, and I said it, like breaking a habit of being around and doing the same thing that I do every year that I have been doing in the past for the holiday season, you know, and it stuck with me because in a way, someone earlier this year suggested, I mean, it's come up to me over the past several years, is to do this and this rather than going to do, you know, basically going to spend this or that time for the family, to shift and go here and there and create something new, you know, in itself. And it really has sat with me a lot in regards to, that was a message that I had this year, was to do this and this and change it up and shift something completely different, you know. And you know, and I love it for in itself, like I hope this really resonates with whoever listens to it, but to me, as I'm sitting here, I truly love it in its purity, because knowing me that I'm literally just talking to myself, I'm channeling this through this message, that the experience of me and how I've come to awaken, what I've come to awaken and learn, so in a way that we can co-create and I can share and bring this out to you. But also in its essence, I could just sit here and not necessarily decide to record this and share it out to anyone, but in a way it also it allows me to see, because I'm sitting here talking, and as I'm talking, you start lifting the veils of your own layers of perspective, your own lenses, and you start to see and understand deeper along your life, along your path in itself. And sitting here, as some of at least two of the things I've talked about, in a way I feel a deeper understanding, a deeper resonance within this, that, you know, in a way I've never had before. You know, because in its truest sense, everything's never the same as it was before. It's a completely new moment of now. It's a completely new alignment of frequencies of energies, and of, you know, in regards to I forget the word that I was trying to say. But so yeah, is to shift it up, you know, and change and do something new, go somewhere new. You know, I thought yep. Whew. Knew that was coming. Thank you, higher self, and it's confirmation of what I was thinking. As actually, it's something that came to me. Little side note here, but and I sat with it and I observed it for a while in itself. I had a friend, tell me that I met in Guatemala earlier this year that when someone sneezes, you know, her perception, what she came to hear in a way was it was a sign of truth, basically a confirmation of truth of something. That someone was speaking truth, or you were thinking truth in regards to several different things, you know. And then I asked myself, you know, is that true? Does that fit for me? But in its truest essence, everything is true. Everything is a part of the truth, is the part of creation of the web of life. But in its essence, does that truth, what was spoken or what you experienced, does that truly resonate with you right now? Is this what you are meant to do? Is this what you're meant to see and feel and experience? That is you and your guidance, knowing what is in your truth at that present moment. And yeah, it's about getting out of your own way. You know, because when you're out of your own way, you're in that present moment. Everything is aligned. You're flying. You're blissful, and everything's loving. You know, and as long as you approach everything with the intention of pure love, and you drop into that alignment, drop into that gap within you. You know, before we actually, you know, do something within our day. You know, and I'm getting better and better back into this. I was into it strong, and then it shifted out, and now the energies are back within it, you know, because as we go within our processes and learnings and many different things, but, you know, is to just take a moment. Take a breath and drop into that present space and softness within your heart before you do anything, and set an intention, you know, in it, out of the purest vibration, because you're in that heart space, you know. Now, if it's truly something you're also wanting to desire, there's something within that experience in your life that, in a way, you're meant to go through. You're meant to, you know, to do and experience it. Because in a way, it's always planned, in a way, synchronistically aligned for you. And, I mean, in a way, excuse me, in a way, you know, because we have our own free will choice, you know, to make the decision of what you want to do in any moment, you know. But then there's also things that, you know, are aligned for higher frequencies and higher paths in your life, you know. And wow, that, yeah. And in its truest sense, it's just that thing is to seeing this and that, you know. Then I guess, you know, if you're not comfortable with a decision, you know, make a new decision within it, you know. And it's yeah, but then in a way, I'm meant to be where I'm at right now. I'm meant to experience and go where I'm going, or do what I'm, or be what I'm being in this moment throughout this day, you know. Because in its truest sense, I've also heard that, you know, God, creation itself, like He is everything. He knows all your thoughts and all your decisions, everything. And He, you know, and in its essence, I've heard this several times that, you know, He knows every decision you're going to make before you make it. You know, knowing in a way, because He's also seeing so many of the possibilities in this and that. But then also, I guess, could see where the potential of your consciousness and your energy and this is that is shifting, for you to go through and experience and learn, so in its essence, like, and I've been asking that for a while, am I meant to do this or am I meant to do that, and it's to a sense, and then you make the decisions and like I'll be pulled, it's like, I'm not sure, was this the right thing, was this the right essence, the presence of it, but then you go somewhere else that's in a different frequency, a different energy, in itself, and is that the right decision? Is that the right path? So, but that's the thing, in a way you never really go anywhere, and in its truest sense you never make a wrong decision, because it was already in some ways synchronistically aligned and written along your life journey for you to go be here, 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 and here at the times that you do, that you are there, that you are experiencing this and that. And I've asked and like this actually just kind of came back up to me right now. I just got a vision of it, and it came up to me last night actually, in regards to going to Africa, and last year I had a flight booked to Egypt, and I was gonna go to Egypt, and when I was in the airport in India, I met my friend Sherry, in regards to it, and what came to me yesterday was, oh man, you sit here and after you spoke and connected in with Sherry for a couple hours in the airport, like I said previously, she basically in a way helped me convince to see, and I went back to the US instead of actually going throughout Egypt. I changed my plans and my mind in itself, if you will, and I came back to the States, and then in itself I've also asked myself, man, it's like, and I, in a way, I don't want to say I have a regret of it, but I used to be like, man, I really want to go to Egypt, I really want to go back there. In a way, I wish I stayed there and did, was in that presence and that frequency right then. But then what has also came to me in what has been revealed now to me with the potentials and the frequency of Africa and the alignment of our consciousness and the evolution of our consciousness, and seeing in regards to the rainbow prophecy and the unfolding of going around the world and awakening within our Akash and going through and anchoring the crystalline grid of the rainbow frequency around the world, in its essence, and the beginning of that, a lot of it, depending on, I guess, what world you look at, new or old world in a way, but a lot of it came to me, it was like, when you go over, I guess, over to the old world in its essence, you go in, you're going to go to Africa, you're going to start there, because that in itself is a frequency vibration of a beginning from which we have come from in regards to our Earth Mother and the evolution of our soul's consciousness. So, and it's come to me, it's like, you didn't go there, I didn't go to Egypt, or I didn't go to Cambodia, or I haven't been to, Spain, I haven't been to Italy, or, just many different things, Alaska, itself, like going to Alaska or Greenland, or I'm going to Hawaii, like all these places, knowing that desire to go here, and it's like, oh man, I haven't been there, and it's like, and like kind of in a way beating yourself up about it, but not beating yourself up, because in a way you're meant to get there when you get there, in its essence. So, and that's my thing there, so, but I guess in a way, if I'm called to want to go to all these places and do all this, that's a calling for me. So in a way, that's what is being awakened within my higher self, within my path along life, so that's that same thing I can say within myself and also within any of you. If you're called to this, and this, and you've always wanted to go here or there, some people have more callings to do things or go places than other people. And really a lot of that has to do with your soul's path here on this planet and what you are meant to do within the calling at this time, So my essence, the feeling that's coming to me is like all these things and desiring to do and having that push and drive and knowing, oh, I'm meant to go here, 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 and all these in a way is because in time, as it unfolds within your life's path, you will go there, you will experience, you will drop into that space, into that frequency, awaken in those DNA memory connections, and co-create and serve, in these places, as to, I wasn't really in its essence meant to go to Egypt last year because it wasn't time for whatever time is, but in a way it had to be shifted and awakened within my light body, my DNA memory connections, to be in alignment with the frequency and ready to go there, so yeah. But beyond that, within space and time, has been the thing as well, is to go into Egypt, but also have seen many ways how Egypt comes to me, but in some ways, in its essence, it comes to you, because it's awakened as a message, I guess, for you, calling you to, hey, here, don't forget this, don't forget that. And it's calling you to stay and drop within those frequencies and continuously stay within those frequencies. Because when they come back up, it's like, all right, here's the time. It's coming up again. You're meant to do A, B, and C here. As to why, going to certain places, and why this come up to me recently is, Hawaii, and Costa Rica, Guatemala, going to Egypt, and going to be in California, as things as well up in Oregon, up in Washington, Pennsylvania, and it also really can also kind of depends as to where you're putting and spreading out your consciousness. So in a way that my energy, I guess, in its essence, has reached all of these, for the most part, has reached all of these countries, a lot of these places. So as that being reawoken, it's already been awoken in some frequency within your consciousness and within your DNA. So as it's woken within that, and it's within space and time, as you're coming into that resonance, if you see something about this and that about Costa Rica, and it's like, it's like, yeah, Costa Rica's calling, and in essence, like, I know it is, because in my heart, it is definitely calling in a huge way for me to go back there, and to be there, to truly be there, and stay there for a while, and have a space there, and to create ceremony, and co-create there, and learn deeper within my path, deeper within my life, and when that, when it's ready and aligned, you will go. But, as my thing is that here and now is at this and that time and that moment. But if I'm not there, do you miss that frequency in order to go here and there at that moment, this and that time? And in some ways, I feel you do. And in other ways, I guess you don't. Wow. Man, like, Wow, I'm gonna sit with this for a moment, what just kind of came through, and I feel like at the moment I'm gonna, much love, and I will continue on again, but what is the energy and things that just came with me, I'm going to sit with this by myself. Alright, much love, matakye yasu.